Our world is telling itself a story about endless growth and consumption. But what if that story is leading us straight into a crisis? Well, today, we're going to explore a really powerful alternative from the visionary theologian John B. Cobb Jr. It's a new story for our time, so let's dive in.
So let's just start with this question, because it's at the very heart of John B. Cobb Jr.'s work. It's a huge challenge to one of the most basic assumptions of our modern world, and it really forces you to face a possibility that is, honestly, pretty uncomfortable.
So what's the real root of the problem here? Well, according to Cobb, it isn't just about a bunch of bad policies. Nope, it's something way, way deeper. An ideology that basically functions like a global religion.
And Cobb actually had a name for this ideology. He called it Economism. It's this dominant belief that the #1 goal for all of society is just constant economic expansion. It's that powerful story that's always whispering in our ear that more is always better and that the market will solve everything.
And this is where Cobb's critique gets really sharp. He argued that economism isn't just some bad idea. It's literally become a new religion. It's a belief system that demands our absolute faith and growth. And it even has its own prophets and promises of salvation, all while it's causing immense harm.
And the consequences of this faith? Well, they're pretty severe. Cobb's point was that when a society serves the goal of endless growth, it will always, inevitably, sacrifice human well-being and the health of the planet. The system is basically designed to create injustice and destruction. It's not sustainable. We desperately need a new story.
Okay, so if economism is the big problem, what's the solution? Right? This is what brings us to Cobb's profound and, honestly, pretty challenging alternative.
What Cobb proposed was a radical reorientation of our entire moral and spiritual compass. He called it Earthism. And this isn't about just tweaking a few economic policies here and there. It's a call for a fundamentally different way of seeing the world and our place in it.
So just look at this comparison here. It really lays it all out, side by side. Where economicism is all about serving markets, Earthism is about serving life. Where one empowers massive corporations, the other empowers local communities. I mean, it is a complete paradigm shift, right? From a mindset of domination and extraction to one of regeneration and service. From an ecosystem to an ecosystem.
So what Cobb is really asking us here is to consider a radical shift in our ultimate allegiance. I mean, think about it. What if our deepest devotion wasn't to a nation, or to an ideology, or even to economic growth, but to the living Earth itself, the one community we all actually belong to?
Okay, so that's a really compelling vision, isn't it? But what does it actually mean in practice? How do you take this huge idea and translate it into our daily lives and actions?
Well, to answer that, we kind of have to imagine what it would look like to live as if the Earth and all its inhabitants are what truly matter most.
It really breaks down into 3 core commitments. First, it starts with reverence, just recognizing that all life is sacred and valuable in itself. From there, it moves to resistance, actively refusing to support the systems that put profit over life. And finally, it calls us to become builders, to actually participate in creating new, regenerative alternatives that serve our communities and the planet.
Okay, so let's say a whole bunch of us start adopting this life-centered ethic. Where does that actually lead? What's the end game here? What kind of world could we actually build together?
The destination, the ultimate goal, is what Cobb and others call an ecological civilization. Just imagine a society that's designed from the ground up to be in harmony with nature. A society that measures its success not by its GDP, but by the flourishing of all life. And it's so important to get this. This isn't a vision about going backwards in time, living in caves or something. It's about building a future where our human systems, our technology, our cities, our economies, are intelligently and beautifully designed to work with the natural world, instead of being at war with it.
But look, getting there takes a lot more than just hope. It demands real structural change. It means shifting power away from these massive global corporations and putting it back into the hands of resilient local communities. Communities that can make decisions that actually benefit their people and their specific place on Earth.
When you really boil it all down, Cobb's message is one of profound moral and spiritual courage. He's reminding us that this whole transformation isn't just some technical problem to be solved. No, it's a challenge that calls on our deepest human capacities, our capacity for love, for justice, and for an unwavering commitment to the living world.
So in the end, John B. Cobb Jr.'s work doesn't hand us any easy answers. What it does is give us a choice. He lays out this clear, alternative path away from a destructive story. And all that's left is the question he leaves for all of us. The Earth is calling. Will we answer?